Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to continue helping you get started using 360 by setting up the application using the application settings folder. If you've logged in, go ahead and continue to the application settings section by going to the top left of your screen and selecting the icon there. In this particular video, I'm going to cover pretty much everything inside of lookup tables. It works pretty much the same way, but just giving you an overview of how this works. Throughout the application, as you're creating jobs and quotes and invoices and other things, there are drop downs that appear as options on each screen. And in this section, you can control and customize the information that appears. So most of these correspond with the different sections or primary sections of 360. For example, accounts is up here. Accounts is a section that deals with anyone who's not a customer. So yeah, it's a place where you put vendors, but you can also put third-party information, people that are companies that you don't know what pocket to put them in. Anyone who's not a customer can go into accounts. Address types, billing, contacts. So let's just go down and let you take a look through here. Account source, what type of customer are they? All these work the same way. You have a list of items here. There's sometimes some presets that we put in here, and then you can always add them and delete them, of course. Sometimes we will see that they are highlighted. There's only a couple instances in this where it's grayed out, and those are ones that we have created that are kind of anchors of the system. So you're not able to delete those, but I believe you can always add to them. So let's continue down here. I'm going with account source, account types. Address types, this is going to deal mostly with customers, but it plugs in to vendors actually in accounts as well. But billing, company, main, and service, these are items when you're creating addresses for various contacts in the system. These are ways to organize them into categories, and these are presets. Billing types, these are different invoicing types. When you're setting up jobs, you can assign them. And again, for tracking later on, these are good for creating metrics when you want to do reporting. So lump sum, time and materials, no charge, or shop jobs if it's not a billing type, or monthly, anything that you want to put in here. This is just got a lot of standard CRM stuff in here, and this is for contact types. As you deal with and create jobs and quotes, there's a lot of different ways in contracting, as you know, that contacts and people can attach to these items. So they can, one, be an employee of the company, they can be the owner of the company, they can be somebody that you met through a trade show. So we have a starting list here, kind of a default list, but you can create your own. And this is just basically a way of categorizing the different contact types: project managers, billing agents, real estate people that are connected. Anybody that is connected to the job, you can assign them to a contact type. Service types. Service types is a way of labeling the different types of service work that you do. So one could be electrical. Another could be low voltage. There's a number one of them, general service. This is a way of just filtering and tracking the work that you're setting up. It spills into the reporting section later if you want to run metrics on these different types of services. Again, always remember to hit save. And also just a reminder that you can change the sort order in which these appear. So when you're going through and creating jobs and quotes, the drop downs, this is the order in which they'll appear. So if there's one that's the most common, you can just drag that to the top position, and then that will be the first one in the list. Okay, so we've gone through service types. Let's go customer source. Again, you're going to run metrics down the road. How did we acquire these customers? Where did they come from? I know that we do that a lot for our own business. We want to see how many people are coming from the website, how many people are we getting from referrals, things like that. So here's a list that, again, comes with it. You can add, delete, and control these items yourselves. Customer types. Sometimes, again, these are similar, but where they came from and what type of customer they are different. So this is an existing list that you can customize. Related to inspections, this is something that was set up specifically for some of our customers that wanted to be able to flesh out our inspection tracking system and put it into categories that could be tracked as well. So you can flesh this out, you can customize it, you can add to this list. Quote job types, this is again a setup item when you're creating these things. And this is the standard list that comes with. You could add one called TNM if you want. Again, another filtering and tracking process. Quote job items. This is when you create quotes, you break those quotes and jobs down into job items. Instead of whenever you're creating them, and we'll demonstrate this when I show you how to create quotes, you can either create your own name for each job item, or on the right you'll see there's a drop down of things you can just select so that they're presets. So I'll show you where that shows up, but this is something that's part of the quote and job setup process. These are presets so that you don't have to write in your own names each time you create items. Regions, this assigns at the tax and customer level, but specifically relates to job sites. Some of you, if you're working in multiple states, you have to report your labor and you have to break it into the different regions that you work in. So what you can do is create numerous regions here. And now when you create jobs and customers, or jobs specifically and job sites, you can assign them to go through these regions. And what will happen now is all the labor and materials that gets tracked can later be measured through a report, and it breaks it out into the different tax regions that you work in. Work types, this is pretty standard. These are the three that we're used to. You can add some of your own: residential, commercial, industrial. I know a lot of our customers definitely track how much work they do in different pockets. They're very in tune with the split of work between how much commercial work they do, how much residential work they do, and so on. So if you, it comes in very valuable, especially if you have targets for where you want your work to be dispersed. You can run reports on it later and see how you're doing. Okay, so like I said, most of the items in here are pretty standard as far as how it works in the application. They break into a lot of different pockets, but excuse me, as you're going through and creating jobs and quotes, and you see these drop downs, if you're ever looking at them and wanting to have different options than the ones you see, you would come back to your application settings and you would come into the lookup tables section here and be able to control those items from here. Okay, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.